let's move on then to South African-based paper and packaging group Mpact. It has 22 manufacturing operations and 29 operating sites based in South Africa, Namibia, Mozambique and Zimbabwe. Mpact has a market cap of 2.8 billion rand. We're talking about a company here that was spun off from Mondi last year, and of course more geared towards the packaging side of the industry. It has plastics within its staple. Plastics actually make up 26%, paper makes up 74% of total revenues. What are your thoughts on this business?
Well, I think it's early days for them, because effectively, as you say, Mondi came onto the market out of the Anglo-American group, where it was just part of an industrial group that nobody really could see its numbers. And Mondi decided that they wanted to be focused on the global story we were talking about earlier, more on the upstream side of things. They didn't want to be in the sort of packaging and packaging manufacturing thing. So that's what Mpact is. It's fairly new on the market, so it's yet to establish its proper track record, and there was, in the financials, quite tricky to compare this with the prior period and so on. The CEO looks like a sort of a stable sort of fellow. I've seen him in the interview, Bruce Strong, with Eleni on CNBC Africa. So I think we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It's a modest-sized company. The packaging industry itself has problems of its own with overcapacity and dynamics, and they've got a big competitor in Mpact, which we'll talk about after the break. So I don't think it has enormous appeal right now, but you know, it's out there, it's trading, and let's see what they can do in future reporting periods.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on Mpact right now?
Well, I think, you know, as Paul said, that it's a small market cap, less than 3 billion rands. The big brother out there is Mpact. So if you're going to be exposed in that sector, I would personally prefer to be in the Mpact shares.
Okay, so what are the opportunities though in the company? Because Africa has been highlighted as a space of growth for the company. They've got a lot of products which are really geared towards a growing middle class. You know, for example, if you're drinking a liquid fruit, that packaging is produced by the likes of Mpact.
Well, I think there's huge potential in Africa, as we know, but not only for them, but
for everyone.
For everyone,
if you're able to get it right.
Yes, but I think, you know, after many years, we'll chat about Mpact. So they've really been under the whip, and they're slowly getting that business together. So it won't be easy for Mpact to, you know, it won't be easy for them to encroach on that Mpact space.
What about the problem of import substitution? This is an industry-wide problem. It's been highlighted across the board. Are you starting to see this impact the likes of Mpact more specifically than the other?
I don't know about them in particular. That is a factor. You know, one can source packaging now out of China, out of the Middle East, bring it in. I know people who do that in the biscuit industry, client of ours. So, you know, I think that is an issue. One of the only things that excites me about this part of the industrial environment is the benefit of, or the opportunity to position themselves as recycling players. So we know that in the can industry and in the plastic bottles industry and also in the glass industry, which they're variously involved in, there's a big opportunity to get your customers to bring the product back to you, lower the costs, and to get onto some kind of green bent and then be seen as a environmentally progressive company, which attracts investment because people believe there's more money going in there. So we've owned shares like Waste Management in the United States on those ground, but I think it's quite an early stage to get excited about that, because the bulk of their profits still come from, you know, fairly straightforward conversion of a commodity input into a finished product.
So the newly listed stock in this sector, Mpact, 17 Rand, it's got a PE of 30.5 right now. Is it a buy or not?
For me, it's not. I would prefer the going with Mpact.
Your views?
Economic recovery going on, so it could be interesting, but unless you had some specific insight, I'd give it a pass and wait for 3 years to see what its profit track record looks like.